Hey, it's me, Daniel, and today I'm going to teach you how to 5x your prices. If you sell something, whether it's a product or a service, you want to be at the top of your field because that's where the biggest profit margins are. You don't want to fight near the bottom of your market to try to get the scraps. You want to charge the most you can for your product or service and still deliver a great value to your customer. So to do that, you're going to have to learn how to charge more. And there are three specific levers you can pull on to charge more, to charge at the top of your industry. I'm using 5x as kind of just a general idea of a multiple, but the first thing you need to know, and this is a secret, there is no 5x difference between the quality of a service that someone provides if they charge $1,000 versus $5,000. There's usually not a big difference between someone who charges $50,000 versus $500,000 when it comes to the service that they're providing, but oftentimes it's the perception of that service. Now, it isn't to say that there aren't great examples of products and services that cost a lot for the business to produce and therefore cost a lot for the customer to pay for. But in general, especially when you're paying for a service, oftentimes the price that you're paying for that service is based on things other than what it costs the company to actually produce that service. So I'm going to share with you the things that actually raise the perception of your price point in the customer's eyes so that you can charge more, so that you can actually collect more profit up front, so that you can actually provide a better service and an experience for your customers because you have more resources to give. So let's get started. When you want to 5x your prices, the first thing you need to know, and this is the first P of 3 Ps that every entrepreneur should know when raising your prices, is positioning. So what is that? Isn't it satisfying to hear that whiteboard squeal? Positioning. When you are in a market and you're trying to sell your product or service, it really helps if you're targeting a specific type of person. They call it an ideal customer profile, an avatar. You want to be really clear about who it is that you're serving, because when that person is in the audience and they know something is just for them, they'll be willing to pay more, even if the service that you're providing them is something that you could provide ideally for lots of types of clients. Let me give you an example. One of my consulting clients many years ago ran essentially a Facebook and YouTube ad marketing company, but he really positioned his business towards pain clinics, pain management specialists, specific types of doctors in a specific region of the country. And because he was targeting just those types of pain clinics, he was able to have his message and his positioning just towards what those specific types of business owners, entrepreneurs in the medical space needed. And so when they saw his marketing, they knew that what he had was for them. And that's really important, because if someone can understand that your solution can solve their very specific problem, they'll be willing to pay more for it. Even if he could have run Facebook ads for any type of company, the fact that he had his positioning set, and his positioning was strong and defined, he was able to raise his rates versus just a generic provider of the same service. So positioning is the first P of the 3 Ps you need to know. The second P, okay, is going to be platform. Now, your platform is essentially your body of work and also the way that you present it in the world. When we talk about platforms, oftentimes we think of social media. So you're watching this on YouTube right now, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. These are all pieces of a platform, but these are all just individual slices of the pie. The entire platform is what you're offering to the world when all of these things are combined in aggregate. And when you look at a platform, you really want to have something that defines your voice in the industry and in the market as a leader. And it's really hard to do that if you just have a bunch of social media like everyone else. What I recommend, and what I've always said to friends, is that you need to write a book. A book is a pillar of your platform that can't be easily duplicated or copied. When you think about the idea of authority, becoming an authority in your space, the word author is included in that word. You can't be an authority without being an author first. That's my personal opinion, but it's also why I started a publishing company called New Wave Press. We help experts and entrepreneurs write books. I'm not jumping right into that in this particular video, but the platform is the important part of this. And you want to have a platform. You want to have a specific set of beliefs that are communicated across your channels where you publish things online. So of course you want to have social media as part of your platform. You want to have a book or other things you're publishing, maybe even a podcast. You want to have things that represent the free value you're giving to the marketplace that you're offering on a regular basis as part of your platform. And that will make you more visible. Obviously, you You can't charge more or command a higher price if people don't know who you are. Your platform will build some of your popularity as well. So platform is important. Now, once you have a good, strong position and you have a good, strong platform being built, the last thing you're really going to need to 5x your prices is you're going to need to have personality, or we could say personal brand. Now, this is especially important because in 2026 and beyond, of course, the age of the personal brand is in full effect. But not only that, we are now in the age of authenticity. We're in an age and era where people have seen everything that social media has to offer in terms of, glorifying things that might not be true. We know that social media is just a highlight reel of people's lives that they share, and even the influencer era, which is an era that I came up on in the 2010s, has kind of faded. And what we want now is authenticity, especially authenticity from a personal brand or someone with personality. Because at the end of the day, especially if you're providing a service, especially if it's a service where you're providing an expert guidance or training or coaching, or you're delivering something to clients and customers at scale, ultimately, you're not doing something that's so unique that nobody else could serve those clients. But why they're coming to you is because you have a personality that resonates with them. You're saying something in a way that really connects with them and their spirit. I mean, this is the reason why I'm putting out videos every single day on YouTube, because I want people to see what my personality is like. And I talk about things on this channel that aren't just about publishing books, okay? They're about my upbringing, they're about my personal beliefs, they're about other things in business that I found to be helpful. And when people see my personality and my personal brand, some of those people, a very small number of those people, might eventually someday want to publish a book. And if they have a choice between someone who they've been relating to and following and laughing with and crying with and connecting with, they're going to want to work with that person much more than just a faceless random brand, even if that brand has good polish, right? It's about personality and authenticity when building a personal brand in 2026. And that will allow me to raise my rates, to raise our rates, because it's going to position us in a way where our platform is very honest. And it will allow us to connect with the right people, and they'll value that and want to pay more. So that is how you 5x your prices. It's not by getting 5 times better. Obviously, you're going to have to get better anyway, that you should be doing that regardless. It's not because you're going to be doing the work 5 times faster. It's not because you're going to be spending necessarily 5 times more on delivering the service to the client. Raising rates, assuming that your quality is fantastic, is really about perception. And perception comes down to positioning your platform and your personality. So I hope that helped. If you like this, leave a comment and ask me any questions that you have about authority building or raising your rates. Make sure to like and subscribe this, and I'll catch you on the next video, which will be tomorrow. See you then.